Today, your specific person is going to show up on your doorstep with flowers and an apology. Because remember, this reality is meant for you, and you can manifest, create, and have anything that it is that you want. Remember, your entire reality is full of love and abundance, and your specific person wants to show up in whatever way that feels perfect for you. And as soon as we remember, there's never a time that we are not manifesting is going to be the time that your reality shifts and molds to exactly what you want. And I actually want to start off this whole video with a long quote by Neville Goddard that's going to support this and lead into every single other thing that I'm going to talk about. So sit down, get your snacks, get whatever, because it is a long quote. So here it is. My mystical experiences have convinced me that there is no way to bring about the perfection we seek other than by the transformation of ourselves. As soon as we succeed in transforming ourselves, the world will melt magically before our eyes and reshape itself in harmony with that which our transformation affirms. We fashion the world that surrounds us by the intensity of our imagination and feeling, and we illuminate or darken our lives by the concepts we hold of ourselves. Nothing is more important to us than our conception of ourselves, and especially is true of our concept of a deep, dimensionally greater one with us. Quote by Neville Goddard. So you're probably thinking, Kyle, didn't you just say we're changing, our specific person's changing, we're showing up to our house with flowers and an apology? Yes, but the way to get that in the quickest and easiest possible way is actually to remember that you are never changing things outside of you. We are changing ourselves. And the more we actually approach our manifestation that we're changing something, the less change we're actually going to see. And you're actually just going to end up stuck reiterating the same thing over and over again. Because if we expect everything outside of us to change for us, that's not the feeling coming first, right? If we're going to change once, if we're going to start acting like a millionaire once we receive $1 million, that's not going to work. Do you go to work? Do you get paid and then you go to work? No. Do you go to the store right after your fridge is full of food? You would say, well, no. It's always us first making the change and then seeing that change happen, right? If you want a job promotion, do you just get it and then you start acting like the person that gets it? You'd be like, well, no. You show up, you act in that way, especially if you think of the concept of like a job interview. You don't start getting all of the stuff on your resume after you get the job. You get it right then and there. And I know these ideas are kind of super logical based, and I'm just trying to have us connect this grandeur idea to something very basic, because that's the same thing when it comes to our specific person. And I know it sounds counterintuitive to think, so to get my specific person to show up with flowers and an apology, I need to change? Yes. And until we know that and understand the power of our thoughts, we're going to be, again, in this loop. Because if we are waiting for something to change outside of us before we change, nothing's going to happen, right? Because your reflection, your reality is repeating back your assumptions. So if we're not changing, there's nothing else to reflect. It's like, look in a mirror. Would you be like, I'll wear a different shirt as soon as my reflection shows that I have a different shirt on? You'd be like, no, that's absolutely crazy. That sounds ridiculous. But so remember, and another quote, few appreciate the real power of the mind, and no one remains fully aware of it all the time. So keep in mind, everything is a projection of yourself. And here's a quote, a Kyle August quote. So if you see your specific person as something you do not want, it means you yourself are something that you do not want. Okay, keep that in mind. You can only see that which you are. And I know it seems, again, pretty crazy to think, you might be like, I still don't get it. I don't know how my specific person is going to change based on me changing because they're acting a certain way. But remember, it's a projection of you onto them, whatever you think they are. And I'll give you a really good example that's going to portray this. But remember, you're projecting onto them what you are assuming them to be. And I'll give you an example of this. So remember, they're a blank canvas. Everything around you is inherently positive and abundant. And I talked about this in like my weekly coachings on like my members, things like that. And no one ever believes me that your entire reality is positive. We're under this illusion that it's negative. And to give you an example, let's look at your specific person. Okay, let's look at all like the not so positive things that happened between you and them as to why you want this apology in the first place. You would say maybe they're late to all your dates. Maybe they're rude to you. Maybe they are avoidant, right? And this whole concept of seeing them in that way results in what you guys know as mixed neuroassociations, but that's a topic for a totally different video. But remember, let's say they were feeling that they are all this right now. That's how they're showing up. And again, you might comment that down. Yeah, my specific person's rude to me, disrespectful, this and that. Which one? I would say you really desire them. So you inherently know that this isn't true. But anyway, I want you to think of them back when they were 3 years old. Okay? They're 3 years of age. Are they all these things? Are they rude? Are they avoidant? Are they late to all the dates? You say, well, no, right? So then we know if they are not always this way, this isn't a part of who they are, and this is not a permanent thing. But again, remember, if you are seeing your specific person as someone or something you do not want, it means you yourself are that something that you do not want, because your reality is a portion and a projection of you. Your reality is working with what's happening within you. So even go back to those feelings of them being late, them being rude, or them being avoidant. Who is feeling those things? Who feels like they're receiving the rudeness, or that their specific person is late, or their specific person is avoidant? Who is feeling this? And that's going to be the answer that you need in order to shift your reality. Again, though, our goal is to change our reality through the change in ourselves. Because you're going to say, well, it's me, right? It's us that feels like we're being rude against, or that they are avoiding, or this and that. So then, if it's us, then it's only us that can control it. I want you to really take this idea slowly, though, and be patient with it. Kind of run it around in your mind. I'll give you examples of success stories, but the reason I want you to be patient with it is because it is a difficult idea to grasp, because everybody feels, no, but they did this to me. They wanted to do that. They need to apologize. Yes, but only in the way that we are projecting or feeling. So you're the director of the play in your reality, right? It's you that is giving everyone the script of what they're going to do. And so when we do that and we can just rewrite the script, right? If you want them to apologize, write the script for them to apologize. But remember, you are the author. You're the director. You're giving the go or the not go, the go or the stop on whether or not they should do something. And remember then, if we're the ones that are feeling the avoidant, the pain, the this, the that, we need to change that, or else we will eternally fulfill that in our reality. And that's why, again, if you feel you and your specific person have been doing the same thing over and over again, they keep being rude, avoidant, this, that, I know it's really hard to take this idea, and it was hard for me to do it. It's still sometimes when I'm like in the zone of the mood of a bad mood, I inherently know this, but I don't act it out always, that we are the ones creating it, right? You can only project that which you are, and everything in your reality is inherently positive. You don't have to believe me, yet you will believe me the more you begin to implement this idea, and it'll make sense. So again, remember, the first step is assuming they are not what we are currently assuming. The first step is knowing they are not what we are currently assuming. That is the first step. Because again, you want to think of them as a blank canvas. Your reality is a blank canvas. is this coffee mug good or bad? Okay. Is it good or bad? If we feel bad, it needs to change. It's never going to change until we remember it's not bad. It has a blank canvas. It is whatever our perception is. It is actually, it's not even blank. It's a little secret. It's inherently really good. But we don't initially always see that. So again, remember, the feelings are always associated with you, and it doesn't have to be a long time in order to switch this emotion or to switch this feeling. And I'll give you an example because I have two different success stories, and I'm going to tell you a little story about it's a little, I think it's what you'd call a parable, but honestly, I'm not an English major, so I don't actually know for sure. But always remember that we are the ones feeling anything. We are the one exhibiting it. It can only reflect us off of us. But I'm going to put the first success story up right now, and I'm going to read it for you. So look at this person said, I'm so excited. And these are kind of longer success stories, so bear with me. I'm so excited to share my success story with you. Today I was watching this video and I realized I needed to affirm my intention regarding my specific person. He is not the best communicator and he is not good at texting. He texted me while I watched this video and even admitted to me that he did not reach out when he said he would. When we spoke on the phone, he did apologize to me. I was so shocked to hear he was sorry. I see this as progress. Yes, that is fantastic progress. Everybody put some applause, some hearts in the chat. That's perfect. But notice there's some things we want to notice in there. Remember how quickly that happened. So how quickly they shifted their intention and then it shifted. But I also want you to notice how they described their specific person. And this was a previous mindset. They said, quote, he is not the best communicator. Again, quote, he is not good at texting. I don't know if I have this right here, so I'm doing air quotes. He is not good at texting. That was the original affirmation of the assumption. If your specific person is not a good communicator, not good at texting, how could they show up any other way? And you can see as they began to shift it, so I needed to affirm my intention regarding my specific person. So shifting that. And again, you see how quickly it can happen. It doesn't have to be this crazy, crazy thing. Then after affirming, assuming, instantly receives this text and an apology. I love this success story, and there are a lot more like it. I had to pick and choose, but I wanted to choose or include this one because of what they said. Is not the best communicator. He's not good at texting. You have to switch or shift your intention and change your assumption in order to see things shift. But again, I want you to remember, it doesn't have to be hard. Look at how quickly this happened. Your reality wants to give you positive things. It inherently is good. It's great. It's fantastic. It's positive. It's loving. It's abundant, right? It's all those things. And your reality naturally wants to align with that. So even just by shifting the intention and understanding, actually, maybe he is a good communicator. Maybe he is a good texter, because that your specific person wants to show up in whatever way you want. So if you want them to show up with flowers, apologizing, this and that, they can. That's the whole purpose of this video. So shift that intention right now, and you're going to get the same exact results. Right now, affirm something positive. Your specific person is begging to reach out to you. Your specific person is waiting, formulating the perfect text. They are a fantastic communicator. Your specific person always wants to reach out to you, even though we assume that them not texting us 24/7 is affirming the opposite, but it's only that thinking that is causing them to not text us 24/7. As soon as we switch it, we're going to see a massive shift in everything happening around us. And I know I'm like super hype on this idea, but you are this close. This can happen to you right now. So shift that intention, make a change in thought. Say and affirm exactly what you want. And I like this too, because they said, I realized I needed to affirm my intention. Needed and realized are perfect words in that. Realized that the reality is coming from them, from no one else. Who is feeling that there is no communication. Who is that, right? And how do you then want to switch it or change it? It's almost, and if you're like super a logical person and you're like, this is too good to be true. I told you guys success stories of people who would sign up for coaching and would be like, all of your success stories are too good to be true, and then receive it. And they're like, I'm now living it. I forget which the name of that video is, but maybe I'll put it in the comments or something. But this can happen for you. And if you're, again, super logical, think of it as a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you are constantly saying, my specific person isn't a good texter, that's the image that you're projecting. That's how you're going to act around them. Imagine how you would feel towards someone coming up to you, acting like you're rude, mean, a terrible person. How would that person act towards you? Without saying any of those things, how would they act towards you thinking that? As compared to if someone came up to you thinking you are loving, abundant, positive, how does that person come, not even saying anything, how do they act towards you? You're going to say you're dealing with two totally different individuals, different actions, different outcomes completely. And it's all about based on their assumption on you, right? So flip that, right? Because this is your reality. What are we priming ourselves for when we are assuming our specific person to be not so good communicator? And I have another instant success story that when I first read that, when you see it, you'll make sense. When I first read it, I was like, is this actually a success story? Or is this a hate comment? So here it is. And based on the first sentence, you're going to be like, oh, I get what Cal was talking about. So they start off, I'll read it for you. It is very insane. You are very insane. With your coaching and guidance, I created a deep belief and trust of myself and my vision. I also really deeply believed your beliefs for me, and you kept affirming throughout the video. Then I got a text of exactly what I want to hear. Everything I've done is while I'm watching this video. So it's all within a few minutes only at somewhere, and they put a timestamp of this time is when they got this message of it happening, which is an insane coincidence, especially with your topic that time. And this is all just my first time. It was their first time watching me. Definitely will be following and hearing from you more. Think about that. And exactly, I like to point out, they wrote, this is exactly the text I wanted to hear. And the shift all happened within that video, right? And this is the same thing. If you guys are in my YouTube members with a link in the description, you guys know exactly what this guy is talking about. If you want to have this shift, go watch the lives. I do lives every Sunday for my members. Go watch those and you're going to know exactly what this person is talking about. You can create, shift, alter your entire reality. The cool part too is this is the first time that they're watching me. I think my beliefs in my videos for everyone watching to create a shift and all that hopefully are helping you out in the best and most productive and supportive ways, like it happened for this individual. I want you to get the same level of success. And both of these success stories happened, right? The first one, both happened during just watching a video. So imagine that. Just watching this video, you can have that same effect. Someone's going to comment in the comments that they also got some sort of success in this video, I bet. Because it usually, I don't know if it happens in every single video because I see them as like screenshots like this. I should actually note which videos they are so I could put them in there. But remember, that's how quickly it can happen. It doesn't have to be intense. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be hard. Manifestation is meant to be easy, fun, and effortless. And that's what, yesterday when I met with my January group and my members, people in there, especially in the January group, because we're like meeting face to face, were saying, this is so much fun. Like, I know this sounds crazy because this is all manifesting like an apology and flowers from your specific person. It can be fun. It doesn't have to be difficult. Like, manifestation is meant to be easy, effortless, fun, automatic, hype, it's a vibe the whole time. Like, it doesn't have to be difficult. It's going to feel maybe a little bit difficult, or maybe challenging is a better word for that. But that's okay. That's the process. But everyone in the members in the January group were like, it's so much fun, because that's how it's meant to be. And hopefully I'm portraying that very well. And hopefully I'm convincing you that it can be fun and it can be easy, because even there's I think they're a psychologist. Yeah. And it's a book called Grit, and they talk about like the science, psychology behind hard work. They said the most beneficial things for people were things when they felt this had the greatest effect on me, were both challenging and fun. Because the challenging is the state change. Because when we're changing states, it can feel uncomfortable. But then also the aspect of it being fun. That's what we're looking for. That's what we want. And I want you to have fun manifesting. So again, if you're not having fun, hopefully my videos are helping that a lot. But again, join the community of my members. Whatever fear, worry, anxiety you're having, successes, anything, I want to help you out. And it's like one of the greatest communities ever. Everyone in the chats, all my followers I love how you guys support everyone else and help everyone in their own successes and their own manifestations. And I love how you guys reach out with your worries, fears, successes to my website. Talking to me out. I always commented at the end of my videos. But so a couple more quotes for you guys. So, and it's just going to showcase how your mind is constantly creating. So it says, the mind is very powerful and never loses its creative force. It never sleeps. Every instant it is creating. You prefer to believe that your thoughts cannot exert real influence because you are actually afraid of them. Don't be afraid of your ability to change anything. I know this sounds strange, but I think you're actually fearful of your specific person and the power you have, that your specific person can show up with flowers on your doorstep and an apology right here and right now. I would say, don't lie to me. You know that you can do it. I know that you know that you can do it. And remember too, if you're still like, I don't get it though, don't I have to talk to my specific person to make it happen? No, look at the two success stories. No communication. It was all intention. But to really make it so, and to really calm that worry or logic that's in your mind, think of the butterfly effect, right? A small little effect is going to have a massive cascade of effects down the line. If it really helps, thinking of your power you have in your reality, because right now you changing a thought is going to get you those success stories. I know it's hard to believe. As soon as you believe it though, remember, success is always due just from a lack of thinking abundantly enough. You can change your reality right here and right now. And I'll give you the little parable story that's going to help with that. It's going to kind of be at the end. So I'm going to give you guys a good little taste of this idea and how you are actually totally in control of your reality entirely. But think of the butterfly effect and think of it like just causing this cascade that causes massive effects. Just by a thought, this cascade of effects from your subconscious mind create your reality to be exactly what it is that you want. So now I'm going to give you this little parable. So it's called The Story of the Two Travelers and the Monk. It actually didn't have a title, so I titled it myself. But you'll see that the title fits it perfectly. So one day, a traveler was walking along a road on his journey from one village to another. As he walked, he noticed a monk tilling the ground in the fields beside the road. The monk said, "Good day," to the traveler, and the traveler nodded to the monk. The traveler then turned to the monk and said, "Excuse me, do you mind if I ask you a question?" "Not at all," replied the monk. "I am traveling from the village in the mountains to the village in the valley, and I was wondering if you knew what it is like in the village of the valley." "Tell me," said the monk, "what was your experience of the village in the mountains?" "Dreadful," replied the traveler. "To be honest, I'm glad to be away from there. I found the people most unwelcoming. When I first arrived, I was greeted coldly. I was never made to feel a part of the village, no matter how hard I tried. The villagers keep very much to themselves. They don't take kindly to strangers. So tell me, what can I expect in the village of the valley?" "I'm sorry to tell you," said the monk, "but I think your experience will be much the same there." The traveler then hung his head despondently and walked on. A few months later, another traveler was journeying down the same road, and he also came upon the monk. "Good day," said the traveler. "Good day," said the monk. "How are you?" asked the traveler. "I'm well," replied the monk. "Where are you going?" "I'm actually going to the village of the valley," replied the traveler. "Do you know what it is like?" "I do," replied the monk. "But first, tell me, where have you come from?" "I've come from the village in the mountains." "And how was that?" "It was a wonderful experience. I would have stayed if I could, but I'm committed to traveling on. I felt as though I were a member of the family in the village. The elders gave me so much advice. The children laughed and joked with me, and the people generally were kind and generous. I'm sad to have left there. It will always hold special memories for me." "And what of the village of the valley?" he asked again. "I think you will find it much the same," replied the monk. "Good day to you." "Good day and thank you," replied the traveler, smiled, and journeyed on. If you guys don't get it, I think you guys get it. Like, we're the traveler, and your entire reality, I know this is put very like philosophically, but your entire reality is a reflection of you in every single way possible. The monk knows this. This awesome, cool, awesome monk wisdom is that's what's happening. So if we act as the first traveler to our relationship, that is how we will permanently, forever see our specific person show up for us in that way. So if we're like dreadful, horrible, blah, 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 everything describing and assuming that to be on our reality, we will see everything else fit in that way. But if we act and know the wisdom of the second traveler and know that, assume it to be great, see the fantastic, amazing things happening. And I know someone in here, if you're thinking this, that's okay. You're probably thinking, yeah, but the first traveler's probably right. They probably were rude, blah, blah, blah. But think of how everything is a reflection. And I know sometimes we do feel like that first traveler. Everything's dreadful, horrible, ridiculous. It takes the courage to understand that your reality is reflecting you and that you can take control over that. And once you do that, you are going to see a massive shift and you're going to continuously experience whatever you are assuming. So act as that second monk. And remember, it was a wonderful experience. I would have stayed if I could, but I'm committed to traveling on. Travel on to your new, awesome, amazing town. And remember, change the perspective on everything, your assumption, and your specific person is going to show up to your house with an apology. It doesn't matter if you were in that previous crappy village like that first traveler was in. Change on your way to this new traveling in this new state, and you're going to see a totally different village come about, a totally different relationship with your specific person. If you guys like this, give a thumbs up on the video. If you guys know that you're surrounded by love and are going to manifest that perfect apology or flowers or change your reality with your specific person, it doesn't have to be flowers. Leave a thumbs up as well. Any questions, comments, leave them down below. Remember, you can also reach out to me on my website at kyleaugustcoaching.com. Send me all of your thoughts, ideas, fears, successes. I want to hear everything. You guys know I want to help you every single step of the way. But let me know. Again, if you liked that little story at the end, you want me to include more of those. I love including the success stories. But remember, you can change in this video. You're going to be the one who comments at the bottom. You're probably commenting right now, "Oh my God, I just got the message from Shifting My Intention." See, we're just like in tune. We're best buds, manifestation buddies. Remember that, okay? But thank you guys so much for stopping by today, and I'll see you in the next video tomorrow.